We all like to cook and we all have those special recipes. But our guest today took the family recipes and turned them into gold because they went into business. I want you to meet Michelle Hoskins. She's got syrup from her great-great-great-grandmother.
America Washington was my great-great-great-grandmother, and her mother died as a slave in the late 1800s. And in 1866, when slaves were emancipated, she stayed in the house where she grew up with her mom, and the owners did not like molasses. So they asked America, could you please make us something that we would like? So America made a syrup out of churned butter, honey, and cream. And she put that recipe in her pocket, and she passed it down to the third daughter in each generation. So my mother was the third daughter, and I was the only daughter, so I did not get the recipe until my third daughter was born. And at the same time, when she was growing up, she was a little, 89 years old, I had read that the 80s was the decade of the woman, and that women were going to emerge as CEOs and executives of companies. And I wanted to be part of that movement. So I thought, what could I do? And then I had the secret recipe that my mom had just handed me, and I decided instead of passing my daughters a recipe, I'd pass my business, and that's how Michelle's Honey Cream Syrup started.
And so we've got 3 syrups, and we are in stores throughout the United States and grocers.
Yeah, we're a national brand. We're in over 10,000 stores, all major retail stores, and we just set in Target in August.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you all better keep those recipes. Now, I want you to meet Udell Watts. He has barbecue sauce from Old Arthur, his great-great-great-grandfather. I want you to tell me about Old Arthur, who was a pit master.
My great-great-grandfather was born into slavery, Kansas City, Missouri. He was a slave until he was 28 years of age. His job day in and day out revolved around open pit barbecuing, and that's where he began to develop recipes to complement the meats that he was cooking over open pit. So when he was freed at the age of 28 through the Emancipation Proclamation at the end of the Civil War, the only thing of value that he had to take with him out of bondage were his recipes. And when he got to the state of Illinois, those recipes served him well. He became a very well-renowned pit master. He lived to be 108, and he kept these recipes close to the vest and passed them down in his direct bloodline, his direct children, and then their children were the recipients of those recipes, which we now make today.
I went online and I bought everything.
Absolutely. We are in retailers here in the Chicago area. We're in retailers throughout the Midwest. The easiest way to get a hold of us most consistently is through our website.
Go online.
You can also see us on Amazon.
Hey, Brown Sugar.
Hey.
So your grandmother, you were a little girl, and your grandmother taught you how to make a cake, a pineapple coconut cake. Tell me about that.
It was just the favorite. I'm so blessed to come from a generation of women that really showed their love through cooking in general, and baking I'm just a sweet girl, so it was my favorite. I got to have a pineapple coconut cake at Christmas and my birthday, and I just loved the cakes. I loved all the sweets that the African American women in my life made, from sweet potato pie to cornmeal pie, red velvet cake.
So, Michelle, tell me how we go from the syrup recipe in the kitchen, in your kitchen, that you were actually making. How do we get that to a mass distribution to retail?
Well, the first thing you have to do is to formulate your recipe.
Okay.
You cannot take a recipe that you make on the stove and take it into mass distribution. It has to be formulated so there's a consistency there in every bottle or every product.
It's the same.
It's the same. So you take that recipe and you make sure that that recipe is given to a chemist or a food chemist, and he makes that into a formula that you can actually take to a co-packer and have that co-packer make it consistently from 1 bottle to thousands of bottles.
Okay, and
so
it's the same.
It's the same
in
recipe.
every bottle.
In every
but
bottle.
It's still your grandmother.
It's still my grandmother's recipe, but I took the base of that and I made it into, because what my grandmother made and I made, we could not put it on the market because it became rancid, or it becomes, so you cannot put, I tell most people to first starting off, do not try to put a finished product that has life shelf on retail, because you're not going to be successful.
It won't last.
It has to be in a formulated situation, so you can put it on the shelf and then tell people it's there. And it has to
Okay.
have a longevity.
I want you to meet Mr. Patrick Oden. He has cheesecake from his brother. Patrick, your brother, with a cheesecake recipe. Tell me about that.
Yes. It started with my brother, Chef Leo, in which he's late now, he's gone now. But he started off back in maybe the early 90s. He came back from Atlanta. He wanted to do his own thing because he was a chef in Atlanta, Alabama. So he came to Chicago, and he wanted to do his own business then. So he came out, he started off in my mother's kitchen, just baking cheesecakes and pass them out to different stores and stuff, seeing if people try it out. So all of a sudden, the big craze came with these fish and chicken places, and he was the pioneer of putting it in all the ethnic neighborhoods, all the black neighborhoods all around Chicago. So he wanted to do that. So here I am after he passed away. I continued the business on, growing it in a different area. Leo made it big. He really made it big because he had over 1,000 stores around Chicago and Indiana. So I wanted to take it a little bit further. I wanted to take it national. So now I came up with this thing. I've had it on a shelf for probably about 3 years now. I had this thing about cupcakes and cheesecakes.
A cheesecake cupcake.
Cheesecake cupcakes, you know, have our own niche. No one out here, and I don't think in the United States has that, a store with that. So we have that right here now on a Magnificent Mile, in which we service, we have at least 12 SKUs every day on that, because cheesecakes is what we do. We're still serving all the restaurants around Chicago like we used to, but now we have our flagship restaurant downtown in Chicago. Just making it a little bit bigger than what we are and just taking it out here.
So you're on the Gold Coast with the cheesecake in the Nordstrom on the first floor.
Yeah, 520
All right.
North Michigan.
So here's my question to you all in telling that story. Did you learn for real how to make these recipes, or
No.
did you follow a recipe and then learn how to make it and then add and subtract and so forth?
The advantage of having a recipe and taking it to a chemist is that pinch of salt becomes a measurement. So all of that, I mean, you can sit and literally say, okay, I make gravy and I put a pinch of this and but when you want to put that gravy on the market, that chemist is going to take that pinch and he is going to understand what measurement that pinch is.
He's going to formalize
He's
it.
going to formalize it.
Okay.
So you don't have to, I mean, none of us came from, like measurements. We came, I think, and I can say this about all of us, our products came out of just a desire of legacy. I wanted to create a legacy for my family. I wanted to create something, brand something, and have it grow and have it become a legacy. And that's why I started, and the syrups just kind of followed, and the honey cream was the number one, but then butter pecan and maple came along, and it's been almost like this love passion that we have.
So in thinking about pancakes, we all grew up on Aunt Jemima pancakes. Aunt Jemima from Black Lives Matter came off the shelf. How did that affect your business?
The day that Aunt Jemima came off the shelf, my sales went up 78%.
Okay.
Forbes called me, and my internet just blew up. Beyonce posted about me. Everybody was posting about this. Oh, there's a real Aunt Jemima. There's a real mother of syrups. And when Aunt Jemima left, my whole life changed. It took me 37 years for my life to change in 37 minutes.
Wow. That
I was there.
is
Wow.
absolutely
I went
there.
fascinating.
from I went from a nice, comfortable business
Nice
to
boutique business.
to like, wow, I mean, I'm everywhere and my product is moving. I used to say I wanted to move 12 bottles. You all can listen, adhere to this. I wanted to move 12 bottles a month. That's the case, right? I started moving 12 bottles a minute.
Wow.
Wow. So competition matters. It does matter who's on the market, but
Right.
here's what's really important is authenticity.
Yes.
Because that's what really blew you up, because
Right.
we knew Aunt Jemima wasn't,
Right.
she wasn't real, and we got tired of looking at that face with that rag on her head. So now we really have an authentic
Right.
product, and all of your products are authentic from kitchens of family. So it is a family legacy for real, as it has been perfected by you and brought to market, so more than your family can enjoy it, so we can all enjoy it. I enjoy your barbecue. When I tell people I want to make a wonderful cake, I go to Stephanie. I will now tell them I will make some little cheesecakes, and I will come to you. And
You can cook
This-
do anything in the kitchen
no,
with this.
this is for pancakes for me in my
Okay.
house. And having said that, I want to thank you all for watching us and listening to these great stories. These are fantastic stories. So if you got your recipe, don't throw it away. Keep it. Might be gold if you know what to do with it. I'm Hermine Hartman with Indigo Studio. Thank you for watching.